Two men determined to get back into the England side impressed on the penultimate day of the LV County Championship match at the Brighton and HoveJobs.com ground, where Matt Pryor hit the first 4-day 100 of the season and Stephen Finn claimed 6 wickets. Day 2 had been washed out, and so Sussex, who began this day on 86 for 3, only 19 runs behind Middlesex, wanted to press on in the morning. They were helped when Pryor was dropped before he'd added to his overnight 32. That was the second life for Pryor, who'd also been spilled in the deep on the first day, and he took advantage by making it to a 50 off only 49 balls. He got to his mark with his 11th boundary. Having bowled Middlesex out for just 105 on the first day, Sussex were already building a decent lead, and the runs were coming at a good lick, not only from Pryor but also from Matt Machin, a man who many are expected to shine this summer. He was certainly making a good start, as these shots testify. Finn had bowled only 4 overs on the first day, and in his 4th of this spell, he produced his best delivery to date, and one that proved to be too good for Machin, who was bowled for 38. Then, 3 balls later, Finn was celebrating again, as Ashar Zaidi had a flash, but only as far as Sam Robson, as Sussex fell to 152 for 5, with a lead of 47. Pryor isn't the only wicketkeeper with eyes on the England prize at the start of this summer. Indeed, it's Ben Browner who has the gauntlets in this match, and he showed that he can also bat. He kept the board ticking over quickly by pulling Toby Rowland-Jones for a 6, as a partnership which took the game away from Middlesex got underway. Much has been said of the form of Pryor in the last 12 months. He's not scored a ton for 33 innings since saving a test match for his country in New Zealand, but he was racing to one here, even though he was dropped for a 3rd time on 55. Perhaps typically he reached 3 figures with a boundary, his 17th to go with 1-6, and these pictures show just what it meant to him. He's not a man who is willing to give up the place he lost to Johnny Bairstow in the Ashes, and this innings will doubtless do him the world of good. His 100 was reached in only 112 balls too. Lunch then would have tasted good for Pryor and his Sussex teammates, while Middlesex may have been counting the cost of the drops of Pryor, who was now looking really good on the restart, continuing his aggressive policy against what many consider to be the best pace attack in the county game. Brown at the other end was not to be outdone by Pryor either. Lots of time has been lost in this game, but with Middlesex's innings lasting only 48 overs and the runs now coming thick and fast, this match was moving on at a pace, as this pair put on 92 in only 20 overs. Brown's contribution to that was 44. He then gave Finn his 3rd wicket when the umpire adjudged that he edged to Darwin Milan. Brown clearly didn't think he'd hit the ball though. Finn then also got shot of Pryor in his next over, the batsman unable to keep his pull shot down to be taken in the deep by James Harris. 125 off 138 balls will certainly send a message out to England though. With 2 new bodies now at the crease, Middlesex would have been hell-bent on damage limitation. When James Anyon and Sussex debutant Stephen Pilot came together, their side led by 148, but they clearly wanted many more than that. Against the ageing ball, which was not doing much at all, both batsmen were able to find the middle of the bat, and the runs continued to come at a good rate, as they added an important and frustrating, as far as Middlesex were concerned, 55 runs for the 8th wicket, which saw Sussex become the first side to post 300 this summer. Finn returned before the second new ball was due and removed Pilot for 25, courtesy of an excellent one-handed catch in the slips by Adam Rossington. So, from his troubles of the winter, Finn now had a fifer, but with the new ball now taken and he rested, Anyon continued to play an innings of dominance, one which was rewarded with a 50, just the 5th time he's managed to do that in his first-class career. What it did show the Middlesex batsmen was that there were no demons in this pitch. Anyon had used up 87 balls to get there, from which he'd struck 9 fours. His next ball was his last one. A shovel off Finn saw the ball end up in the hands of Neil Dexter at mid-on. That gave Finn his 6th wicket to make him feel a lot better about life, rather like Pryor. So John Lewis came out for his first innings in Sussex colours, perhaps a little too good to be a number 11, he was soon putting bat to ball to frustrate Middlesex even further. The lead stood at 230 when Lewis joined Steve McGoffin, and that was built further as Lewis had some fun, here driving Dexter over extra cover for a maximum. Some shot that from a man who may have thought his career was ending after leaving Surrey at the end of last season. He'd raced a 35 by tee and was perhaps dreaming of a 50 to go with his impressive 4 wickets on day 1. However, he was run out coming back for a second after the break. Roland Jones with a direct hit from the deep as Sussex were finally dismissed for 386. Finn ending with 6 for 80 after getting through 21.5 overs. So that gave the home side a more than handy first innings lead of 281, and they would have been hopeful of winning this game, especially when Robson picked the wrong ball to leave alone from McGoffin. The England hopeful was gone for a single. Sussex had another 14 overs to make more inroads into the Middlesex batting lineup, but they showed a lot more fight than they did first time out. Chris Rogers and Milan battled really hard against some very tight bowling, and they were able to latch on to the rare hittable ball from Lewis, McGoffin and Anion. It was an important partnership, not just in this game, but also to give the Middlesex top order some confidence after Sunday's misery. Anion was close to getting the big wicket of Rogers just before the close, but the umpire decided that this ball probably did just a little too much. So Rogers survived and will go again on the final morning on 27, with Milan on 21, made out of their side's 57 for 1. They still have much work to do to save this match. They'll go again, still trailing by 224 runs, with 9 of their second innings wickets still intact.